So why you are joining so late today? Is there any other engagement or something? Yes, anyone? Why you all are so late today? Or you thought the experiment is over already? Yes. So still there are only 12 or 13 people only, right? Where are other people? Today is the last. After that, if there would be classes, then there would be only your queries or attendance, nothing else. Right? That is. Told all of you that in pulse modulation scheme, we are having two types of modulation schemes. One is the analog modulation scheme, and another was the digital modulation. So in case of analog, we studied about pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, and pulse position modulation, right? In case of the digital modulation scheme, we did last practical of PCM TDM system, right? Pulse code modulation system, in which we saw that a string of zeros and ones we are having as a modulated data, pulse coded data, right? So in pulse analog modulation scheme, you saw that we used to have sampling, right? But the amplitude value can be anything, right? So in pulse modulation scheme, we are having a pulse signal as a carrier signal. In pulse analog modulation scheme, we are sampling, where we take samples, sufficient samples of the message signal and send that to the receiver and transmit that to the receiver, right? So in this case, whenever we are sampling, the amplitude of the signal can be any real. But in case of pulse digital modulation scheme, the amplitude is divided into some quantized levels. Accordingly, every quantized level is allotted some encoded code. It is encoded in binary form, zeros and ones, and that particular thing constitute the data for pulse digital modulation, right? So we were have the PCM system. We discussed about PCM system, in which we are having a string of zeros and ones as a data, right? That's okay. Another digital modulation scheme, in case of this pulse digital modulation scheme, we are having delta modulation. So today we are going to deal with delta modulation in demonstration, right? So in this case, this delta modulation case, what we send is a 1 bit PCM. It is also called as 1 bit PCM system. Why it is called as 1 bit PCM system? Because we don't send the whole data, but the present sample is compared with the previous sample. Whatever sample we have taken at this current time is compared with the previous sample. As you can see on your screen also, I tried to illustrate using this kit, screenshot of our kit. This is the kit that we are going to use for delta modulation and demodulation. You can easily see that transmitter contains a comparator. It means that this comparator, using this comparator, we are comparing the instantaneous value of our message signal, or you can say the present sample of our message signal, with the previous sample, right? And if our present sample is having higher amplitude value or sample value than our previous sample, then we send plus delta. When I'm saying plus delta, it means we are sending 1, right? And whenever the comparison gives us that the previous amplitude was higher than our present amplitude, it means the signal is decreasing in nature. So we send minus delta or 0. So in case of this delta modulation scheme, we only send 1 bit, either 1 or 0. If the signal is in increasing nature, or the amplitude of the signal or samples are having amplitude that is increasing, then we every time send 1 to the receiver, or we transmit 1. Or if the amplitude is decreasing or the signal is having a decreasing nature, then the next amplitude is going to be lesser than the previous amplitude, and at that time we send 0. That's why it is also called as 1 bit PCM, because we send either 1 or 0, right? As I told all of you from the first lecture only, that in this laboratory experiment, if we are doing this experiment, then we are performing this experiment on prototype kit. So we are having a disadvantage is also that we don't have the data, exact data that we want to transmit. So we need to generate the data also, right? So in order to generate the data here, we are having some of the modulating signals, available modulating signals. You can see once I'll share the link, you will come to know that there is a DC signal. There are some 250 hertz, 500 hertz, 1 kilohertz, 2 kilohertz. All these options are there. You can see on the screen also the places where my fingers are. There are 5 blocks, and they are some modulating signals that we are going to transmit. These are the message signals that we are having. So I've tried to illustrate using this 250 hertz as well as 1 kilohertz in order to illustrate that what if frequency of the signal is getting increased and how our modulated waveform as well as the demodulated waveform, how it is going, right? So in order to generate the data, once we are having this comparator circuit, you can see because we are comparing the present sample with the previous sample and we are getting zeros and ones as per the output of this comparator. But that data needs to be sent, right? Needs to be generated in continuous manner. So we need to have a circuitry where the data can be easily transferred. Whatever data that we are getting, we can transfer at particular clock rate. That clock rate would nothing but transmitter carrier frequency. You can say that is a carrier frequency for the transmitter, right? So we are having clock. You can say, see here, the third block is bistable circuit. This is nothing but D flip flop. It is nothing but D flip flop only. It is a bistable circuit. It is a D flip flop having a clock and one input mode, input pin. The input pin we are going to give the output of the comparator to the input pin of the bistable circuit, and the output that we are getting is nothing but the transferred output. Whatever be the clock rate, at this clock rate, the output that we are giving getting from the comparator and giving input to the D flip flop input pin, we are going to get that data, right? But that data would be either 1 or 0, but it won't be, it will be a unipolar type of signal, right? Because whatever we are getting here at the comparator end, you can easily see that we are either getting plus 5 volt or plus 2 volt or 0 volt, right? Because whenever this non-inverting terminal is having higher potential or higher amplitude, then accordingly we are going to get plus delta or minus delta. So the plus delta and minus delta whenever I'm saying, then it means we are either getting 0 or 1, nothing like that. So we are having a pulse of some amplitude, and at some places where this uh, non-inverting is higher than lesser than the inverting, then we are going to get that particular 0 volt. So we are having a unipolar signal. You will come to know I have plotted all of these on the DSO and I will explain in the experiment in quite detail. So you will come to know everything. So we need to have unipolar to bipolar converter here. Why we are needing this thing? Because in order to have the previous sample, information of the previous sample, we are having this integrator, right? So integrator needs to be an output. The input to the integrator needs to be conditioned in such a way that we can have the positive side as well as the negative side of the signal also, so that it can store the information properly, right? So we are having this integrator. So in order to condition the signal for the integrator, we are converting this unipolar to bipolar. Signal is converted into unipolar to bipolar using this unipolar to bipolar converter. So here you can say that in order to condition the signal for the processing of this integrator, because integrator stores the previous sample value. So once the integrator stores the previous sample value, we need previous sample value here at the comparator. So one of the connection, you can easily imagine that the output of the integrator would be given to this one of the input of the comparator, right? Because it will constitute the previous sample value, and whatever be the modulating signal we are using, it will be given to the input, right? Here at the positive side, either or 500 hertz or 1 kilohertz, 2 kilohertz, any of the frequency. So message signal is given to the one of the input of the comparator, and the second input will be the previous sample value that comes from the integrator. So all these blocks are accumulator block. If you try to see the block diagram of delta modulation, then you will come to know that there is a comparator, and in the feedback you are having an accumulator circuit. So all these blocks are nothing but the accumulator circuit, this unipolar to bipolar converter, integrator. All these are accumulator circuit, right? So we are having this, the output, the data that we are getting are output of this bistable circuit will be the data, right? So we'll be having the data, this comparison. So in case of delta modulation, we are sending just either the signal is increasing its value or samples are having the next sample is having or the current sample is having value from the previous sample, either higher or lower. Accordingly, we are sending the one bit, either one or zero, right? So this is for modulation that we are having, and we will see how we are having this particular thing, right? So as far as this receiver is concerned, we are having receiver part also in which we are having the similar function. So in case of this delta modulation, we just need a low pass filter. If we condition the signal and we are just having a low pass filter, then we can directly get the demodulated output using the low pass filter. That's why it's the beauty of delta modulation, that just a low pass filter can solve our purpose once we are having samples, right? Because the high frequency component can be removed and sample and hold is getting performed by the integrator. Integrator block is there also in the receiver part also, and as well as we are having receiver as well as transmitter clock common, so we are having a coherent detection also, because there is a block for the clock on the kit. We'll come to see. This is the input for function generator is there. There is something transmitter and receiver clock also, right? So you can see here, this clock generator block is there. You can see here is the clock generator block on the left side, the left downward side. We are having a clock for receiver clock as well as the transmitter clock. We are having some clocks available. Clock 32 kilohertz, 16 kilohertz clocks are there every time, and there is a selector A to B. I have explained everything in the experiment. So you can easily see that we are having this delta modulation, and we reconstruct the signal using this integrator as per the samples. We hold the samples and see using a low pass filter we can reconstruct the signal. So if we are sending 250 hertz or 1 kilohertz, then we need to reconstruct or demodulate the signal, whatever be the sampled output that we are receiving, zeros and ones we are receiving. We need to convert that particular thing into the 250 hertz continuous time signal or 1 kilohertz continuous time signal, right? So this is what we are having, this modulation as well as the demodulation part. The thing is, the issue that we encounter in case of delta modulation or some kind of slope overload distortion as well as the granular noise. If the step size is very uh, small, and that is particular step size is not able to track the slope change in the signal that we are having, the RMSS signal. RMSS signal is having a steep slope, or we can't track that particular slope using those small step sizes, then we are going to have that particular problem called as slope overload distortion, right? There is one more problem when the step size is too higher and our signal is not having that steep slope, then we are having the problem that we call as the granular noise problem, also called as quantization error problem, right? So all these problems can be resolved if the step size gets adjusted as per the slope of our signal. So if we are having some scheme in which we can adjust this step size, or the step size is adaptive to that particular slope our signal is possessing, then that particular modulation scheme can solve the problem that we are encountering in delta modulation. That's why the next scheme that we are having is adaptive delta modulation. That's why the name came adaptive delta modulation, because it can adapt to the changes, the slope is steepness of the slope, or uh, the slope, how the slope is changing, accordingly the step size is also getting changed. So these problems can be solved in adaptive delta modulation. This kit is able to illustrate the adaptive delta modulation also, but your course doesn't have this particular practical, the adaptive delta modulation practical, but at least you should know that there are two problems in delta modulation scheme. You must have read in your theory classes in detail also. So these two problems or disadvantages can be removed using adaptive delta modulation technique, right? So I'm going to share the link. You just need to watch the video completely, right? So let me share the link to all of you. So I guess the link is of the video is of 40 minutes. 40 minutes, I think, 39, 40 minutes. So let me know if the link is working fine. You just need to complete the experiment. So this is our 10th experiment, the last experiment. We'll discuss with the professors. I'll discuss with the professors, and I'll create an assignment again for the rest of 5 practicals, so that we can have all the reports available at our end. for evaluation. Okay. So let me know if the link is working fine. Once you will complete this experiment, you will come to know all the nuances, all the concepts and processes involved in this delta modulation. If you are having any problem, any query, then you can ask in between also. You can comment, you can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself and ask as we are proceeding from the first day, right? And you can note it down also. We'll discuss when we'll meet next, right? So it is 2:40. So we'll be meeting at 3:20. It will be 3:30. Let's meet at 3:30. I'll take your attendance as well as if you are having any query regarding this experiment, then we'll I'll discuss all the queries. Okay, I'll address all your queries. Do let me know if link is working fine. Anyone?